So while Sully starts playing, I just kind of start dancing around.
Alrighty. Very heroic. You are dancing. Let's move you away from King Bruin or Battlehammer so you don't get your head lopped off. So for the most part, I believe, for the record, in the recording, I've been trying to set it up at this point. I'm adjusting the sound as it goes. It doesn't have anything that specifies output. So I've been adjusting. The first half was set with one setting. The second half, as we just realized that Sully cannot play the piano, I've adjusted it to a higher setting. So this recording may be a little off with the sound, but it will at least allow us to identify which setting is most conducive, and then every other recording will be better. There's no way for me to test it because I just haven't had the ability. So just an FYI, if you go to listen to it and you can't hear anything, skip forward to about this point and you will be able to differentiate, and we'll be able to figure that out. I'll listen to it obviously tonight as well. So towards that end, Sully's face rolling on the piano. Bomir, what are you wanting to do while your compatriots are drinking and playing and dancing?
I guess the only people I'd be interested in talking to is the ones that approached me.
Okay, as you make your way down, another person approaches you from more like he was waiting for you to make your way down and others to talk to you. The man wearing the symbol from the Order of the Gauntlet makes his way up with two humans at his back, and so I've got music rocking. He introduces himself. He's a human. He says he is Sir Laniver Straw, and he says that he is a member of the Order of the Gauntlet, as well as in the following of Tyr. He looks like he is definitely older. He has some scars across his face. He introduces himself and asks you, as point blank gets, almost in, not to the point of bad manners, but definitely abrasively, what god has earned the allegiance of a hero of your caliber.
I'll tell him that I've followed Helm ever since I started studying as a paladin.
He nods and says that you will find here on the surface that the faiths of Helm and Tyr tend to not get along, but the priests say that Helm and Tyr themselves are good friends, and it is not becoming of their faiths to allow mortal vanity to obscure the good they do. And he tells you that the Order of the Gauntlet is an organization dedicated to the protection of the innocent, the destruction of evil, much as Helm teaches. And should you ever desire, let him know, and he would absolutely look into considering you as a member. But as he finishes that, before you can respond, he kind of waves away any response formality and asks you to tell him of your experiences as a follower of light and good in the Underdark.
Okay,
You can roleplay it or just make your way over and describe as you choose.
alright. I mean, I won't really get into details, I guess, but I'll just explain to him how it was very difficult to, to maintain everything that you believe in as a paladin and still survive in the Underdark. But I'll tell them, for the most part, I managed to hold on to my ideals and blah blah blah.
He nods and says that the Order of the Gauntlet tends to send some of its recruits into the Underdark to test their faith, not as a suicide mission, but as an experience that not all of the world is like that of Waterdeep. I see, Orin, you're creeping up on the wizard with the shield guardian.
Yes, Lord Zelron.
He's an elderly human with a beard, and he sees you coming up, obviously sees your staff and your robes and your general demeanor, and nods and says, I take you for a master of the arts, especially with a staff like that. Someday you will have to tell me where you got it.
Orin inclines his head, a little bit of a bow towards the Lord Zelron. When he stands up straight, he looks at him and says that there is not much story on this minor staff that I have acquired. I didn't get it through any travels or tribulations. And he stops. He just kind of trails off there, thinking about his trials and tribulations. That
he
is
nods
it.
And says, yes, it is indeed a simple-looking staff. He says, have you considered a bodyguard? He makes a motion towards a shield guardian. He says, very useful creatures. Very useful constructs, he corrects himself. He says, they are very, very strong. You're able to store spells in them. And they will shield you. They will protect you. They regain life and repair automatically. We've recently uncovered the secrets to rebuilding them in the last 50 years from mages of Nethranil and the City of Shade as they have returned, although they try not to. We do try to acquire secrets from them, and this was one of them.
With a gleam in his eye at the knowledge that he could receive from this, Orin very eagerly says, yes, I would be very interested in acquiring or learning how to create such a magnificent guard as what you have. I have not seen this kind of magic in my many years of traveling.
He nods in your direction. Or he nods at your statement and says, perhaps we will speak later.
As you wish, Lord Zelron. And Orin gives another deeper bow this time to the Harper agent.
Okay. He moves away, just making conversations. Is there anyone looking to talk to anyone specific? We're just trying to bounce around, not leave anybody standing.
Just bounce around, talk to everybody, try to, see if there's any information to be gained and whatnot. See if anyone else has heard of any more demons or odd things happening other than, like, fungus mutating.
Anyone?
After Lord Zelron walks away, I will walk over to the representative from the Zentarum.
Okay. I'm gonna put you on hold, Orin.
Okay. Let somebody
everybody
else.
a chance.
I just want you to know that's what I'm planning on doing. I'll be right back. I gotta use the bathroom.
Understood.
Was I muted? Did I come through or no?
I didn't hear you. What did you say? I heard Orin.
I said Valdu would walk around talking with everyone, trying to see if anyone has seen any other strange ongoings, such as demons or whatnot.
Okay, sorry about that. I
no
didn't
problem.
I got part of it. The general consensus that you're getting is that the dwarves of Gauntlgrim definitely feel like something's off, as well as the Emerald Enclave. The Zentarum seem I mean, obviously you're not talking straight to the leader right away, and other people are, but they're definitely, you walk up, she gives you her attention. That definitely there is a sense from the Zentarum that something's off. The members of the Lord's Alliance, which is the organization whose members started with a V, the half elf noble. He looks very young. He doesn't seem too convinced. He isn't 100% on board that this is as big a deal as it's being made out. He hasn't seen any signs. The cities that the Lord's Alliance represents doesn't seem to have seen anything. They don't seem to even be overly concerned. The Order of the Gauntlet members, which is the Sir Laniver Strahl. I'm sorry, I think I said Strahl. Might be saying that wrong. Is almost eager for it to be true, but they have not seen any evidence.
That's odd.
Now, mind you, a lot of these organizations are from the surface. The Archmage that Orin was talking to, Lord Zalron Roarington, tells you they've heard things, but most of those reports have come from dwarven communities such as Gauntlgrim. So, Sully, Durandon, you said you were making your way around. Durandon, Bomir, is there anyone you specifically wanted to make your way over, converse with, roleplay in a general way other than drinking and dancing?
If they're not going to say nothing, I had something to add.
I sent you a message, Tony.
Right, I saw that one.
Okay, just making sure.
No problem.
Valdu would head back over to the one where they haven't seen anything, they're not worried. He would ask him, if something does happen, do you have a plan?
You asked about the Lord's Alliance?
Yes.
He says that they will handle it the way they've handled everything. Right now, they're listening to everything being said. They're not telling you that you're wrong. They're saying that they haven't seen it.
Right. I'm just saying, do they have some kind of plan? And he would ask, how do they usually handle things?
The Lord's Alliance is an organization that represents the leaders of multiple cities and towns. They are able to draw from multiple different sources of troops and magic and intelligence and ideas and work to prevent any issues.
AFK real quick.
Any issues from affecting their settlements.
All right. Vadu would, thank him, tell him, nice talking to you, whatnot, and move on.
Okay, Bomir?
If nobody's gonna say anything, I would like to go into deeper what these people want of me, but if that's something we need to talk about later, that's fine.
The Order of the Gauntlet?
I'm more interested in the Order of the Gauntlet so far. I'm still kind of reading up now.
Well, generally, he's not looking for anything from you specifically. He was making a general statement that you're the type of person that the Order of the Gauntlet looks for. And if you have a desire to pledge yourself to a cause larger than yourself of mortal design, possibly in a day or two, a week or two, a year or two, let him know. He's more than happy to discuss it with you. He wasn't necessarily, not giving you the application now, just offering to expand on it in a more private setting.
Okay, I see, I understand. Alright, well, I guess in that case I don't really have much to talk about.
Durandon, are you gonna do some more dancing or just looking?
Pretty much just looking. Did you get that message I sent you?
Yep, I got it.
All right. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Just Eddie, or Sully, if you have
Eddie stepped away.
Oh, okay, my bad. I was gonna tell him to make sure. Durandon too, if you want, man. If you look under the wiki on the Obsidian portal, you can see what the different factions kind of stand for. I would just suggest real quick, if you haven't already, look at the Zentarum before I start chatting her up and seeing if that's something maybe fall in line with something you're looking for.
Yes, I spent about the last week getting the website brought back up to speed for the second part of the game. So if anybody, it doesn't have to be now, but if you have a desire to take a look at the wiki for anything over the next week, absolutely. If you guys want to post or not post, it's completely up to you. But I put a good deal of information there for you guys to take a look at.
Oh, I really appreciate that. That's pretty awesome.
No problem. We'll keep adding it. Orin is definitely adding to the Demon Lords. The information he got, I'm basically allowing him to share at his leisure. As well as there's some information on the gods there if you have a desire. But as you walk up, Orin, towards the Zentarum group,
I'm back.
Davra Jasur, she introduces herself as. She has very dark hair. And she hasn't been making a massive amount of effort to socialize, but she has been making a massive amount of effort to observe. And as you make your way up, she gives a polite bow of her head and says, "Hello, Master Mage."
Good evening, Lady Davra.
She
And Orin
smirks
bows to her.
she smirks at the use of the term lady. She says, she seems very graceful, and her eyes tend to observe you strongly. As I said previously, taking your measure, and she says, "So what role did you play with the heroes returned from the Underdark?"
I provided
Death.
support to my rain death from above. Hold on. 1 second, I gotta get the boy in his jammies. He's just sitting right here.
Absolutely.
I couldn't help myself. Like, oh, I killed the cleric and, almost doomed us all to death in the Underdark. That's all.
You're not wrong. He may call it vengeance, but it seemed an awful lot like murder to shove your fellow party member off of a chasm and then send magic missile after magic missile chasing him down, so after he hits the ground, he's just bombarded by magic missile after magic missile and fireball after fireball. Seemed a bit excessive to me, but it was absolutely entertaining.
He slipped.
I feel like the push might have been explained away. The 2 fireballs and 4 magic missiles, that's not a slip.
That's why I was hoping that it would have been higher damage. I'm playing. Okay. Orin starts telling Lady Davra, I was the support to my fellow travelers. He kind of says it, not with a sneer, but definitely as if they were a little bit lesser than what he has provided. I'm also the lore keeper of the group. I've found numerous fonts of information to help us understand what we came in contact with down in the Underdark during our trials and travels.
She nods and says, "A very useful thing to have." She says, "We in the Zentarum believe that knowledge is power, and that being useful is even more powerful than knowledge. And we think that we can be useful. We're not
Sure.
exactly sure what King Bruenor has, but from what I've heard of him and from what I've seen, there is very little that King Bruenor Battlehammer does without a purpose.
Orin nods to what she says. I've noticed that myself in the short time we have been here. He has a very sharp mind and seems to grasp difficult concepts or others with with ease. He kind of thinks for a second. He's changes the subject slightly and says, "I also agree that knowledge is one of the most important aspects, or one of the most important areas that somebody can focus their time in. And usually, if you have enough knowledge, then you can be extremely useful to various ideals."
She nods and says, "We agree then. And would you also agree that knowledge has value? And if you are the one to possess the knowledge, and it is desired, then you should be compensated for it. Would you agree?"
I would agree with that wholeheartedly, especially if you're one of the few that actually has the knowledge. You can almost set your price. Some could even say that an idea could be worth a person's weight in gold.
She nods and says, "Indeed. It was good talking to you, Master Mage, if you'll excuse me."
As you will, lady. Davra. And then Orin turns around and starts mingling with other people who are around who may want to talk.
So as everyone is moving around, is anyone looking to do anything specifically?
Where's the king? Did he disappear?
The king is no longer at the high table. The king was watching and seems to have stepped away from the high table.
Damn. All right.
Okay. As everyone is moving hither and... What's the other one, Eddie? Is it yither?
Heather.
Tither?
Oh.
I know it's hither. And hither's definitely in there.
Hither and your? I don't know.
Hither, tether, and yon.
Thank you. See? You see how that was a helpful contribution, Matt?
There you go.
Exactly. So, as everyone is moving around, give me a perception check across the board.
I'm re-rolling that. I'm changing my dice color.
That sucks.
One second, please.
It's a damn trap.
Most things are.
It's not an actual trap. I'm grabbing a sound. So, as the party is working, I feel like definitely Sully should have worked at least a little bit of disadvantage there, depending on how much he drank, but it's starting to wear off. You guys have been mingling for a few hours, but with the exception of Orin and Valdu, who are very distracted by pretty much everything. Orin, the shield guardian, Valdu, the plants. The rest of you first feel a small rumble under your feet that quickly enough before you're able to do much, grows stronger very quickly, and then almost as it's getting large enough for it to be felt by the majority of the people in the group, there's a extremely loud roar that comes from all around you, almost as if it comes from underneath the stone itself, to the point where it reverberates through the stone and seems to emanate from the stone itself as it echoes through all of your ears.
Do the residents look startled?
They definitely look startled. The roar is long lasting. It seems to last, and after it starts, the braziers located here and here, which are, they're coals. They're not flames. They're just flat out coals. They shoot up. There's no fuel there. They're just iron braziers. They shoot up in columns of flame that go up about 15 feet. Both of them erupting in very dark, hot fire. And as the flame seems to grow, there's also 2 braziers I didn't mark. They're down at the bottom of the hall. I just didn't want to scroll down. So you have 4 columns of flame all around. The people are generally acting how you would expect. They're retreating to the area where their groups are. Specifically, forming around their leaders. The flames.
Do we have a chance to move?
You do. I'm gonna let you move. I promise.
Okay.
Because you haven't been moving to do what you've been doing. I'm not gonna lock you in. I'm just moving a bunch of stuff around. But I'm gonna give someone an answer to a check they did, and I'll get right back to the rest of the description.
So how about them goblins?
It's like a sports ball team. The Grim Gauntlets. Or goblins. Whatever. Gauntlets, goblins, it's all the same thing.
That's a good one, the gauntlets. That would fit.
The chaos pretty much starts raining as the fire starts to coalesce, and out of each of the braziers steps a fire elemental, a creature of pure fire. You'll get a nice little picture here as it preloads. The fire itself steps out, and pretty much, for the most part, you see the people forming around their leaders and retreating away from the chaos. So I'm going to unlock the tokens. I'm going to place the creatures, obviously, as they would be. I'm going to throw a grid on real quick before everybody gets too crazy. But if anybody wants to ask or any questions, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to throw a grid here. The tokens should be unlocked if you want to move them while I place everybody.
So there's only one?
Actually, give me 1 second before you move your token. Just to make my life simpler, I'm going to delete every token and then replace you guys. Because, as I said, this cavern is massive. And the first thing these people are going to do is surround themselves, or bring themselves around their leaders and begin retreating. So they're pretty much no longer going to be a factor. I'm going to go ahead and drag them out.
Can we cast or anything while they're doing that?
No, this is descriptive. If you desire to retreat, you're more than welcome to. But if you're not going to retreat, and you're going to engage in combat, please do 2 things for me. Number 1, roll initiative. Number 2, adjust your armor class to reflect no armor. You may be carrying a shield and any weapon you desire. You can do it manually or however you choose, but you're going to need to do it. And I'm going to start putting the
I never said I was
creatures on.
taking my armor off or nothing.
He
Yeah,
did
you weren't-
say earlier that
you weren't-
they brought clothing for a party.
You were not wearing. They weren't allowing you to wear. They're not going to have 5 separate factions armed and dangerous this close to each other.
Did we get to keep any weapon, such as I get
Any
to keep
weapon
my
you
quarterstaff?
Any weapon you desired, you were welcome to carry. There was no armor, stuff like that. There are guards that you did pass coming into the room. The majority of them are not right on your face right now. So if you desire to retreat and allow the guards to handle this, that is absolutely an option. You're not being forced to handle this. You're not basically being pigeonholed. If you desire to respond to this threat, you're more than welcome. Just understand that there are guards that are in this area, but they won't be responding within the first 10 seconds, obviously.
What do you guys think? Should we go and meet up with the guards?
That would be the smart thing to do.
I really don't have a way down there without going through them, because I was kind of already up here anyway.
Well, you said we'll get to move.
No, I said you can move to where you were. Then we're going to roll initiative, and you guys can run away should you desire. I took the rest of them off because they're choosing to be non-combatants. You're players, you don't get that option. If you wish to retreat, you're more than welcome to do so.
Well, that's not where my character was then.
Okay, you can move.
I thought we were going to be allowed to move before.
You can. This isn't where you're at presently isn't where you have to stay, but I'm saying that you're not going to be able to run across the entire
I know.
chamber.
That's
So
why
if you-
my character was right there, and then when that happened, he moved up here.
Okay, so if that's where you want to be, if you want to rearrange yourselves, something goes crazy, fire starts shooting, creatures of fire start stepping out, you guys want to form up into a group, as, your instincts and training and experience have led you, all of that's perfectly acceptable.
Well, I mean, we could at least yell for the guards if we're going to be up here. I don't know,
Yeah.
party leader, what do you want? Make a call here.
Well, for the record, the screaming is
Pretty much
definitely-
notified.
Pretty much notified them.
True. Bomir, what do you want to do? Fight or flight, man?
We can attempt to flee, but it'd be difficult. Where do we have to go? All the way south? Or I get down, whatever that is? Is that the only way out of here?
The way out of here is going to be down, left, or right. North is the edge. North is towards the throne of Moradin. Probably not where you want to lure some elementals. Not if you want to make some allies. Now, mind you have all of your weapons, your spell components, your bows, your arrows, all of that. You simply do not have your armor. That is what you are missing.
Alright, let's see what we can do. Hearts and minds, right?
Works for me.
Durodin kind of instinctually just ran up to the higher ground.
Of course, I don't have my armor or my mount.
Okay, give me a second. I'm going to test, as we've been doing the recording, I want to turn the sound up on my recording. If you guys wouldn't mind continuing to talk, even if it's tactics and so forth, I want to hear how the sound overshadows the voice.
Okay.
Well, if we're gonna fight, then Valdu would run up next to these two, I guess.
And I guess that Orin still be with Bomir. Let me check something.
That's what that sound is. Matt, do you have music going on behind you?
Yes, my wife's listening to music. I'm trying to keep it as quickly as possible.
No, that's fine. I was trying to identify it.
Damn it, that sucks. I already used 2 luckies.
But I do have my shield, you said, correct?
That is correct. The only thing you don't have is your physical armor. So, is everybody where you want to be before I lock the tokens?
I am where I want to be.
Okay, I'm locking the tokens. We're going to go to round 1 of combat, starting with Sullendeer.
Alrighty.
Quick, play the piano. They might go deaf.
I know, right? They have not had an action this turn, right? Or they have not had a turn this combat session, right?
That is correct.
Okay. Good.
Now, are the people still in here, or did they all run out?
They are in the process of retreating.
Not a one of them's gonna fight. Bastards.
It's one of those things where you're young and you're adventurers. That's a hit. By the way, you're
Okay.
young and you're adventurers. That's your job. They're representatives. They've done their time.
Tony, it's considered a crit, right?
It is an automatic crit. Yes.
Okay, just double checking before I actually rolled it.
How'd you get it to crit automatically?
I'll go into modifiers and hit the critical button.
Very nicely done. I find that to be helpful.
Yeah, it's nice.
Whoop whoop.
Okay. And of course you can move.
I'm going to.
The table is a table, so difficult terrain it is.
So 10.
Right. Once you're up on it, you can move normal.
So 15, 20, 25. And I use dash or whatever to get further away. Can I go right there?
You can.
Okay. I go there then.
The elemental roars, obviously exposing it, stepping out of the brazier, looking around for the first creature that it sees, and steps forward, lashing out at the Holy Paladin Bomir with its arms. It's trying to use its arms as a club, one arm each, to attempt to burn you. And with the skill of an unarmored paladin, he bobs and he weaves and dodges both attacks.
Let's see if I can do it again. Oh boy.
He collides, he slams his hand into you. The second one misses, but your clothing, beautiful although it is flammable. You ignite. And here's how this works. Every round, at the start of your turn, if you are on fire still, you take a d10 worth of damage. It's 5 points up, it'll be rolled. It's just a d10. It's not any attack. It takes an action to put it out. You can't be ignited by 5 different creatures. If they both hit you, you don't take 2d10. But as long as your clothes are on fire, you're getting burned. So you're going to have to choose on your turn whether you want to take the burn, feel the burn. I mean, it's your call. But that's the general options you have. The elementals to the south immediately start making their way up from the south. Now this round, I'm going to make a judgment call and say at the end of your turn, you will take the damage. So if you choose to spend your turn putting it out, you won't take the damage from that turn. This round. And it's going to be the start of your turn next time.
Okay, and if I put the fire out of my clothes, would they just catch fire again if I got hit?
Pretty much.
Can I take off my clothes?
Yeah, it's going to take a couple rounds.
Okay, that makes sense. Alright, well...
Go towards everybody else. That's where the concentration is. They can't surround you that way.
You're going to be down here off alone. Well, you're going to go next, that's right.
Yes, I go next.
Tony, would my knowledge as a druid tell me if these guys are weak to anything such as cold, ice?
Your knowledge as a human who has seen fire before, or a creature that is aware of fire's existence, tells you that they tend to be pretty immune to fire.
Well, yeah.
And susceptible to the opposing magic, water, for that matter.
I had to dash in order to get here.
You had to dash to get there?
Yeah, I guess. Oh. Yeah, and to avoid the attack of opportunities.
Well, you can't do both. You can either use your action to withdraw and not take an attack of opportunity, or you can use the action to dash.
Oh, I always thought that was the same thing.
No. Dash is using your action to move your full movement speed again. Mind you, it's full. Disengage is use your action to avoid attacks of opportunity.
Oh, and I can only move my normal distance when I do that. Okay.
If you're disengaging, correct. I moved you back for your calculations.
If you can, get behind where that point is.
Perfect. As far as I can go.
Okay. Since we're just getting back to the game, don't forget, everyone needs to grab that little next actor button as soon as you can. Or as soon as you're done.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You weren't doing it slow. I just was reminding.
What's all this resistance? Should I have it? Oh, well, yep. No, I shouldn't have any of that, I don't think.
That is what you should have. That is your effect. I took the time since the last game to create an automatic effect to protect you, but we will go ahead and remove it for the battle that you're not wearing armor.
Yeah.
Orin uses a spell, Misty Step. It's a bonus action, and he moves to there. Once he gets there, he faces everybody, points his staff in the general direction, and shouts a word, and a cone of sleet and ice, cold air, erupts from the tip of it, going towards the elementals that are within range of it.
The tip, huh?
Just the tip. White stuff comes out the top. And it will
This is why I have to mark our videos R.
You're the one that brought it up, dude.
I know. I give you the opportunity to be yourself.
There we go. So those 3 are targeted. The cones are well within the area. They're all covered. So I will roll their save. Wow, that's a lot of ones.
Did you take lucky?
Kid.
I do. Can I use lucky to... I can't use lucky on damage.
No, that's right. Shit.
Yep. So after he does that damage, he will turn around and use his movement.
You don't want to protect the paladin?
I probably have a higher armor class than he does right now.
You gonna get on the table?
Actually, what's your armor class, Bomir? Because you do have your shield.
15.
Mine's 17 plus 3, so I got a 20.
Jesus.
Yeah. 'Cause I don't. Nobody else is wearing armor. I'm the highest armor class. Really?
I can also protect you with my shield, since I have it.
Okay. Well then.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And the +3 is mage armor, correct?
Yes, he casts it every morning. I've said that for
Right,
every
I know.
morning.
I'm just verifying.
Yep. The +3, it's down there as the effect. That should take me up. That will take me up to 20. And I do. Hold on, I'm gonna whisper you the next part.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you give a concussion to a small, helpless animal.
Okay.
What's going on right now?
Sorry, I was whispering, Tony.
Oh.
He was telling me his intention. Okay, when you're done, click the next actor. Remember to stand united as a party. Sully, go to the back.
I go ahead and cast Ice Storm in here. It's 2d6 cold, 2d8 bludgeoning. But would that add any damage for the water?
No, I'm sorry. I whispered the answer to someone. They're not vulnerable to cold or water damage. They take additional damage for being submerged or doused in water, but no, you're not going to get extra damage. But you can go ahead and roll your attack as normal. The damage will calculate automatically.
All right. As soon as it lets me.
Did you say how much how much damage the fire does per turn?
1d10.
D10, okay.
As a bonus action, I would cast Shillelagh.
Okay, I got your Solele. You do notice that the cold damage is effective. Not unusually so, but just generally so. But the bludgeoning damage that seems to have less of an effect on them as much of the others.
Alright. That area is now difficult terrain, and I'm stepping behind Bomer.
Okay, I was moving that guy, and I'll move you.
All right, you have to bear with me. I hope I'm doing this right.
No problem. It's an unusual combat. Hit.
And for any spells, it's one per turn.
Spells or attack. The fact that you used your Ray of Frost, that basically is just like the same. You get one attack per turn. So yes, unless the spell says in the description bonus action, like for example, just to use the spell you cast as an example, Ray of Frost, when you look at it at the top, it says casting time. It says one action that lets you know that what it takes to cast it. So that replaces your attack. There are some spells that say reaction or bonus action, but you probably won't get them as an arcane trickster.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Can I see them from where I'm at? I mean,
Absolutely. They're pretty
I assume
big.
They're massive, yeah.
Yes.
Maybe.
Hit.
Ah, okay, gotcha. So 10 foot high, 10 foot wide type deal. Okay.
Disadvantage on the first attack. That's it.
Protect the midget. Okay, the disadvantage, I forgot to click it, so I rolled it twice. The second one missed, so we will treat that as a miss of the first, since this is his second attack.
Yeah, because Bomir's got his shield. Whoop whoop.
That one didn't miss.
He still has to roll it at disadvantage, though.
Disadvantage is just one attack, right?
Yep, one single attack.
Okay. No problem. Yes, I'm gonna pop shield up.
Okay, you can.
Orin, as it gets close to hitting Orin, he barks a word, he makes a gesture, and a shimmering object appears in front of him to deflect the blow.
The creature's hand bounces off a shimmering wall, but as it does, the shimmering wall fades, and the other elemental makes his move up and attempts to smash the small, irritating creature. But the little creature seems to be able to dodge and jumps to the left and jumps to the right. The fire elemental is not going to be impeded by the difficult terrain of ice because it melts ice. Because that would be Sleet Storm creates difficult terrain due to the fact that it froze the ground. They seem to be immune to the effects thereof, and their passing basically renders it non-existent. The amount of heat they're giving off is pretty substantial.
I take damage.
Okay. I'll go ahead and roll it from just a general.
Orange up there getting a tan.
Nice and toasty.
I'm back here maintaining my pasty complexion.
I cast Scorching Ray. Joking.
Fuck you.
Fuck
Oh,
these
spell.
3 spots on your face in particular.
Right.
I use Bless. And That is it.
Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm reading a spell. Make sure I got it right.
The music I shut off. The majority of this recording I'm intending to be trial and error for this for the sound, because we had so much issues with the sound. I wanted to try it with music, without the music, with the setting down, with the setting up. That way, yeah, we're gonna have one bad recording, but part 1 took 15 months. So part 2 is gonna take a little while, but I'd like to take one session and get the sound down properly.
Makes sense.
That would hit all 4 of them, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Orin points his stave again in their general direction, says the command word. Sorry, give me 1 second.
Abracamidget.
Abracamidget, that's right. Abracanome. Never go home. And another cone of ice and sleet flies out from the tip of it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll all of them. Make sure you target them.
Yeah, all 4 of them are targeted. 27, 9, 8, and 3. Sorry, I forgot to do that. There we go. Here's the save.
Nice.
2 successes and 2 failures.
Very nice.
The elemental directly in front of Orin is covered in ice. The ice seems to overwhelm its flames that are giving it life before the heat cracks it. But as it cracks it, the creature loses its cohesion and falls to its flamingness. But the rug itself's already obviously on fire, but it dissipates into its base materials.
That would hit all 3, yes?
It would appear to, yes.
Alright, just making sure. Vadu would do the same. He would cast his Ice Storm once more.
All 3 failed.
And that's my action.
No more lucky.
I have 1 left, but I can't reroll damage for it or nothing.
Yeah, damage you can't reroll.
And all 3 failed, so...
Disadvantage on the first attack.
Hey, I just noticed those. What are those little plus icons in the bottom corner of our pictures?
Bless.
It's an effect. Basically, if you scroll in, like all the way in, it'll show you the effect. You can actually put your cursor on it, and it will tell you what it is if you just have 1. Orin has 2 because he has mage armor and bless. So it's how many effects you have on you.
Cool.
So the fire elemental that was finally reaching the group made his way up and basically tries to hit and successfully hits the wizard twice, 1 with each arm, setting Orin's robes on fire.
Good thing they're not my good robes.
You can't just bring your good robes out to every fire elemental fight.
Right? Well, no, they said they gave us clothes, so Orin would have worn those. Except for Droki's hat. Hopefully that doesn't catch on fire.
That's a pretty rare hat. There's only one Droki.
It's on fire.
Yeah.
There was only one Droki.
Now there are no Droki.
Hit. And as Dawnbringer tears through the creature's essence, it scatters it into the wind, reducing it to embers. Hit.
Ah, shit. Sorry, wrong one. Aw, sad panda.
Wrong one.
No, I meant wrong dice that I rolled.
Oh, I know. It was just mine was an absolute horrible pun.
As Orin is on fire, he does say, somebody help, or somebody put me out. So that way I
The
can cast
elemental
another spell.
attempts to attack Durandon, and Durandon dodges and blocks as much as he can and manages to avoid all hits.
Well,
I'm going to roll a d10 and apply the damage since you're flaming.
Yeah, I'm not going to comment on that.
It was an easy one. I thought I'd throw a softball.
while on fire, I will use my action to put out one.
That's a good question. Can you put someone out? Someone who is on fire, putting someone else who's on fire out, or would the fire just create a conflagration between the two?
I
You
think
can
we're
put him
thinking
out.
too much of it.
I'm just making a joke. You can successfully put him out. And you can still move.
Please don't.
Yeah,
Oh,
this
no.
is the only spot that
I need your help with the damage. Your shield. And for a third time, I'm not gonna draw the whatchamacallit, Tony, because I can hit them both from here. Orin points his staff again at the two remaining elementals and gestures and sends another cone of ice and sleet.
And another one of the elementals dissipates into nothingness.
Good purchase.
Give me 1 second.
It rolls downstairs alone or in pairs and blazes your neighbor's dog.
I had a comment, but I can't stop chuckling.
Everyone knows it's Grandma.
Tony,
Had to make it weird, dude.
how exactly were we setting up that one of magic missiles? You know what? Hold on. If I use 6 charges of this, it'll cast it as a level 6. Yes.
Correct.
Okay. How many d6 is it for a level 6 magic missiles?
0.
D4.
Correct.
It's 1d4 plus 1, or it's 3d4 plus 1 each magic missile. Or not each. It's basically 3d4 plus 3 for level 1. And it's 1d4 for every level past that.
So your casting is level 6. So you're going to have 6 past plus the original 3. So you have 9d4. So just go down to the d4. First thing you're going to do, go down to the bottom left where it says modifier and type a 9. Just like left click and then type a 9. Then before you change anything, go over, right click on the d4, and you can select 5, and then left click to add a dice 4 times. I believe it's left click, or it's right click, my apologies. There you go. And you do 33 damage to his 1 remaining hit point and successfully kill him.
Of course. Fantastic.
9 missiles fly out of the wand of the druid and hit the creature, causing it to dissipate into nothingness. For the record, this would be, I don't believe we've got it set up yet, but this would be a great time for the Staff of Healing. The Staff of Healing has the ability to cast Mass Cure Wounds, which you don't have to do it now, but it would be 3d8 plus your spell ability modifier, which is, I believe your wisdom is 4 or 5. I'm not exactly
5.
sure. But it's basically, just so since it's a new item, I want you to understand the capabilities of it. Basically, all allies within this square would get 3d8 plus 5. So if you guys are ever in a situation where you're really hurting, my roll's sucking still, life to everyone is a good thing. So, as you knock the last elemental back into
I'll go ahead and use that. Oh, wait. I don't register that yet. Who all was even hurt?
Bomir and Orin.
The 2 people that were on fire.
I'm just gonna work off the assumption that when the threat's gone, you put yourself out.
Yes, that is true.
I feel like it's a safe assumption.
I love the smell of half orc in the afternoon.
Right.
My hat is not on fire, damn it.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and use it again.
2. I added the additional 2 because you only added plus 3 instead of plus 5.
My bad, hit the wrong button.
No problem. I adjusted for it. Each of them is pretty well off. You don't need to necessarily waste the staff if you don't desire to, but you're more than welcome to.
Every time I go to sleep, I get 1d6 plus 4 charges. So.
Correct. That's the beauty of it. So it's about 10:30. I'm going to go ahead and take a break right here, take a 5-minute break, use the restroom, and if anybody has anything that they want to do, go ahead and knock that out.
Look at that roll.
Reconvene in 5. Well, for the record, using mass, this is one thing you should be aware of. So since that came up, I want to make sure I cover it because I don't want to be the responsible for not making it clear. So if you look in there, and your staff, I'm going to throw it to you. The spell Mass Cure Wounds, it tells you the staff has 10 charges.
Yes.
While holding it, use an action to expend 1 or more charges. Mass Cure Wounds takes 5. Casting Mass Cure Wounds twice.
Oh, okay,
using
yeah, I
the
don't
last-
cast it twice. No, huh?
Be aware of that. So you used it once, you have 5 charges. By the way, you got triple 8s there. That was pretty boss.
Yeah.
Right?
Can I just use it? No, I don't want to use my final lucky either.
I'm gonna go take a break. We'll just presume that you didn't try to destroy your staff.
No, I definitely did not.
I will fucking murder you.
Again.
All right, it's going, guys.
Murder him again. You killed. Let's not forget that I'm not letting it go that you murdered his character.
I did not murder his character. It was vengeance.
That's still murder.
Maybe a little bit. Hey, and remember, Valdu,
I'll be back.
That your staff of healing, you can use it as a quarterstave, I believe.
Well,
Just
I
double
gotta
check, click on it, and make sure, because it gives you usually the quarterstave stuff. If you can't, then you can't.
Oh, I already got a pretty good quarterstaff, so.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying it's on you because, like, my staff is my arcane focus as well as a quarterstaff. So if somebody does run by me, I can smack them with it.
Generally speaking, Valdu has Shillelagh. Anyway, I just make note of it during the beginning of combat. I usually just consider it that it's,